You ever thought about this? Jesus would always look at people, specifically in Mark chapter 10. He looks at the man by the name of Bartimaeus. He goes, do you want to be healed? Like he actually goes, what do you want me to do for you? You're like, Jesus. I mean, you're Jesus. You know he's blind. But you know, sometimes you got to say it out loud. He goes, I want to receive my sight. Jesus already knew this. Skylar, don't miss this. He had to make him say it out loud because here's the truth of the matter. I meet people all the time on intersections. It's a long story. I got a professional costume artist that dressed me up as a homeless guy to see how our church responded. Social science experiment. This is about 4 or 5 years ago. It messed me up forever. I cannot pass by a homeless individual in transition and not speak to them. I'll look them in the eye, tell me your name, where you're from. If I got something, I'll give it to them. But most of the time, 99% of the time, they just want somebody to look at them and talk to them. And here's the truth of the matter is that so many times when I try to go, hey, I could get you to Haven for Hope. Can I take you? Nah, man, I'm good. Too many rules. Jesus looked at people and goes, do you want to be healed? And I was always like trying to figure out why would he ever say that? Because sometimes people want to stay right where they're at. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because the moment you get healed, watch this, you got to get a job now.
Yep.
The moment you get healed, you actually got to be the leader.
Yep.
The moment you get that job, you actually got to take on responsibility and check this out, actually be accountable. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. But see, pressure is a privilege.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so when somebody begins to walk away from a victim mentality and a victim mentality, it's like when Jesus heals the man that gets lowered on the mat. He tells that brother to roll up his mat. He says, take up your mat and walk out of here. Why would he need to take his mat? Because his mat is his message. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so many times we go, man, my background, Jesus has set me free, or I made a decision to walk in a new pathway. And we immediately detach ourselves from our past, but it's a part of us. But could it be transformed for a greater reality that your deliverance, your breakthrough actually could become somebody else's survival story? Mm-hmm. That if you'd be willing to go, hey man, this is what I came through, not be ashamed of that, not be embarrassed of that. Shame is not who you are. Failure is a moment, not a person. And the moment you look back and go, hey man, here's the principle. Never look down on somebody unless you're helping them up. Never look. We don't know where they're at. We don't know what's been going on. We catch people in moments, but we don't know the whole story of where they've been. But let's just go ahead and speak this over them. There's a God that knows where they're going. And the Imago Dei principle, if every person has the image of God on them, then we got to see that God's got a future for them. And could we be a part of the journey of going, man, a lot of people are misunderstood as they just need a handout. What if they don't need a handout? What if they need a hand up?
Yeah.
And God called you to be that person. Mm-hmm. So my whole life is based around inspiring other people. But here's the challenge for me, Skylar. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate hype guy. If you're listening to me right now, you're like, dude, I need to listen to this guy more often, maybe in a motivational moment. But here's the danger. Guys like me for so long, I can hype you up all day, but not believe the same thing I'm telling you about myself. Mm-hmm. And man, when you hear me say I had to go through therapy, I got sick of being sick, tired of being tired. I'm hyping up everybody else. Believe what God believes about you, but not believing it for myself. Mm. And I began to realize that nobody speaks more to you than you. You don't listen to anybody else more than you. And we hear these verses like, no corrupt word out of your mouth, Ephesians 4:29. Let your words be seasoning to grace to those who hear you. We do that for everybody else except ourselves. And so I began to realize, man, if I don't believe what God believes about me, it's a sin. I got to get right. I don't have to fight for acceptance. I already got it. I fight from it. I don't fight for victory. I fight from victory. Mm-hmm. And it's the conversation we had this morning with your team. Man, I'm not a sinner. I'm a son of the living God. Do I sin? Every day. But God sees me as righteous. That's what I love about your name. We're kings, man. You know, because we got the King of Kings, lowercase k king.
Exactly. Yep.
Capital K king is who Christ is. And so walking in a mentality of going better today than yesterday.
Yeah.
Better today than yesterday.